GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good evening, Montreal. Tonight we'll celebrate Brendan Gallagher being named Citizen of Honor, hear about Harmonium's first reunion in 4 decades, and give you a quick traffic update as construction eases for the holiday. Also, a look at the new tennis stadium plans. Over to you, Emma.
Wednesday Night Laughs kicks off tonight at Place des Arts, showcasing 30 comedians across 3 stages, with tickets available online and at box offices.
The festival includes a family-friendly early show at 6 p.m., plus a late-night headline slot at 10 p.m., both free for subscribers.
Food trucks line St. Laurent Boulevard during the event, offering poutine, smoked meat sandwiches, and vegan options, with a designated quiet zone for those needing a break.
The comedy festival runs until Sunday, featuring local and international acts, free street performances, and nightly open mic slots. Lots to get to. Let's begin. Good evening, Montreal. Tomorrow afternoon at City Hall, the city will formally recognize Canadians forward Brendan Gallagher with the title of Citizen of Honor. Officials say the honorary citizenship celebrates Gallagher's impact both on the ice and in community initiatives that have resonated across the island. The ceremony, scheduled for the historic council chambers, will include remarks from the mayor and a representative of the hockey club. While the tradition of awarding honorary citizenship is reserved for those who have made notable contributions to the community, Gallagher joins a select group of athletes and public figures who have received the distinction. Mayor Soria Martinez Ferrada will present the certificate, highlighting the city's pride in its hockey heritage. Fans gathered outside the building are expected to cheer as the forward steps onto the podium, underscoring the deep connection between the Canadians and the city they call home.
Today, the legendary folk rock collective Harmonium takes the stage for its first full reunion in more than 40 years, joining the lineup of concerts marking the province's national holiday. The band, whose 1970s albums became touchstones of Quebec culture, will perform at an outdoor venue near the historic Old Port, part of a citywide series of events that includes fireworks, street festivals, and performances by emerging artists. Organizers say the surprise appearance underscores the spirit of renewal that defines the celebration, offering longtime fans a rare chance to hear classic songs live again. Tickets were released earlier this month and have already sold out, prompting a wave of excitement across the province. The performance will be streamed live, allowing viewers at home to share in the musical tribute to Quebec's heritage.
Historian Genevieve Pronovost revealed today that Montreal's original street network was deliberately laid out by the Sulpician missionary François Dollier de Casson in the 17th century. Pronovost explained that Dollier de Casson, acting as the colony's first toponymist, designed an orthogonal grid of 7 streets to streamline movement toward the site of the future Notre Dame Cathedral. The plan, she said, was a strategic effort to improve access for worshippers and to anchor the fledgling settlement around the church that would become the city's spiritual heart. By mapping the streets in a regular, right-angle pattern, Dollier de Casson set a precedent for Montreal's later urban development. The discovery adds a new layer to the story of how the island's earliest neighborhoods were organized, underscoring the deliberate vision behind what many now consider a historic maze of cobblestones.
Yesterday, forward Emma Maltais put pen to paper on a 2-year contract with the Montreal Victoire, the reigning champions of the Professional Women's Hockey League. The 27-year-old, who spent 3 seasons with the Scepters, said she is thrilled to join a club that captured the Walter Cup last season and to help keep the title in Montreal. Victoire general manager praised Maltais' speed and scoring instinct, calling her a perfect fit for the team's fast-paced attack. The 2-year deal will see her suit up for the next 2 campaigns, adding veteran depth to a roster already loaded with talent. Fans have already begun speculating about how her presence could boost the power play unit. Maltais is slated to report to training camp at Place Bell later this summer, ready to lace up for the defending champions.
Yesterday, Tennis Canada unveiled plans for a state-of-the-art tennis stadium right here in Montreal. The proposed venue will feature a fully retractable roof, allowing play in any weather and meeting the evolving standards of the professional tour. Officials said the arena is essential to attract higher-level tournaments and keep the city on the international calendar. Design sketches show seating for roughly 10,000 fans, with modern amenities and easy access from the downtown transit hub. Construction could begin within the next 2 years, pending municipal approval and funding agreements. The governing body highlighted that a roofed facility will give players consistent conditions, a key factor for events seeking ATP and WTA points. Tennis Canada noted the roof meets the tour's demand for reliable indoor conditions. The project aligns with Tennis Canada's strategy to expand world-class venues across the province. Later, we'll hear how a Montreal couple paid extra after rebooking an Air Canada flight despite a 25% sale. We will be right back.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Welcome back. I hope you're feeling refreshed. Let's explore what's unfolding across Montreal, and now Emma Leclerc will bring you our local stories.
Emma Leclerc, a local couple, thought they were saving money by rebooking a flight after spotting a 25% promotional discount from Air Canada. The pair changed their tickets on June 24, hoping the reduced rate would lower their travel cost. However, the airline's dynamic pricing model adjusted the base fare upward, leaving the new tickets priced just above the original amount. Pricing experts explain that real-time fare fluctuations can neutralize advertised discounts, meaning consumers may end up paying more despite a sale. The incident has sparked renewed calls for clearer pricing practices from carriers, as travelers seek assurance that promotional offers truly reflect lower costs. Air Canada confirmed the fare change resulted from its automated pricing algorithm, not a manual error. The situation illustrates how even short-term booking adjustments can trigger price shifts that affect weekend getaways and business trips alike.
The United States federal court sentenced a Montreal resident to 3 years in prison this month after a jury found him guilty of operating a fraudulent weight loss product scheme aimed at American consumers. Prosecutors presented evidence that the operation relied on false health claims and deceptive marketing to collect thousands of dollars from people seeking quick results. This punishment follows a conviction earlier in the year for the same weight loss fraud, confirming a repeated pattern of misconduct that targeted U.S. buyers. The judge stressed that exploiting individuals looking for health solutions carries serious consequences. With the term now imposed, the case underscores that cross-border scams will be pursued aggressively, and that those who profit from deceptive products can expect substantial incarceration. The decision reflects the court's commitment to protecting consumers from misleading health products.
On June 24, the province will observe the Fête Nationale du Québec, prompting a wave of closures across the city. A broad range of businesses and service providers have confirmed they will remain shut for the day, from financial institutions and municipal offices to many retail outlets and dining establishments. Public schools and health clinics are also slated to close, meaning families and workers should plan ahead for the holiday. Residents should also note that many banks and government offices will not process transactions until the following business day. Transportation schedules may be altered as some transit services reduce frequency. Residents who rely on essential services are advised to check with their providers before the holiday. The coordinated shutdown reflects the province's tradition of marking the national holiday with a pause in commercial activity, allowing the community to partake in the celebrations.
2 Canadian acts made a splash on the British late-night stage this weekend, appearing together for the first time on Jules Holland's music program. The masked ensemble Angle de Poitrine, known for their theatrical anonymity, shared the studio with country legend Shania Twain. Host Jules Holland introduced the pair, pointing out the unlikely mix of a cryptic indie collective and a global pop country star. Their joint performance marked the Quebec band's debut on the show, while Twain added another international appearance to her recent tour. The segment aired during the weekend of June 20th to 22nd, drawing viewers who appreciate both avant-garde rock and classic pop country. Social media buzzed with comments on the visual contrast, and producers highlighted how the band's masks and Twain's unmistakable voice created a memorable moment for music lovers on both sides of the Atlantic.
Saturday in June, the City of Montreal and West Island municipalities announced a new suite of flood mitigation projects after the latest flash flood event inundated dozens of homes. Officials said the storm marked the fourth serious inundation since 2017, prompting a shift toward long-term infrastructure. The plan calls for additional sponge parks and retention basins designed to absorb excess runoff and protect residential neighborhoods. Engineers will prioritize sites that suffered the most damage during the recent deluge. Municipal leaders stressed that these measures aim to reduce the frequency of sudden water surges that have become a recurring challenge for West Island residents. Funding will be shared between the city and the surrounding municipalities, ensuring resources are allocated to the most vulnerable districts. Construction is slated to begin later this year, with the goal of having the first facilities operational before the next rainy season.
Now let's turn to the forecast and see what tonight's weather has in store.
A western jet stream surge is squeezing moisture out of the Great Lakes, leaving Montreal dry tonight. On this date, Montreal once burned to 35.6 degrees Celsius in 2025, a record set during an unprecedented late summer heat wave that pushed the province into a prolonged ridge of high pressure. The cold counterpart fell to 11.5 degrees Celsius in 2016, when an Arctic plunge threaded the Great Lakes region and froze the St. Lawrence corridor. Normal highs hover around 26 degrees and lows near 16, so today's 24-degree peak feels modest against those extremes. The live radar shows a clean pane across southern Quebec, with no echoes over the Montérégie or the Laurentians. A weak-trailing cold front has already slipped east of the city, leaving behind a high-pressure dome that is being reinforced by the fast westward jet at 116 kilometers per hour. That flow will keep the air dry through the evening, and the next band of moisture is not expected until tomorrow night. At 6 p.m. Montreal sits under an overcast sky with a temperature of 23 degrees and a west-southwest breeze at 19 kilometers per hour, gusting up to 31. Pressure is rising, signaling a gradual tightening of the high-pressure ridge that will suppress cloud development. The jets stream above streams westward at 116 kilometers per hour, steering any lingering moisture away. Tonight's low will dip to 16 degrees, then clear skies will dominate the midnight hours. Tomorrow's UV index registers 6, wind will peak at 22 kilometers per hour from the west, and no alerts are in force. Expect a calm night and a dry start to the next day. Thursday brings a high of 25 degrees and a low of 16, but a thick cloud deck will hold 40% rain chances across the region. Friday's system deepens, pushing the jet south and delivering a 70% rain risk with a cooler high of 22 and a low near 17. Saturday clears dramatically, offering a mainly clear sky and a rebound to 25 degrees, while Sunday repeats the clear pattern with another 25-degree high and a low of 16. Monday shifts to a warmer 27-degree high and an 18-degree low under mostly cloudy skies as the ridge nudges eastward. The week's temperature swing of 11 degrees highlights the jet's wavering influence. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunset is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
We'll have traffic updates, a look at tonight's comedy festival and Gabriel Diallo's Eastbourne Run, then back to you. We will be right back.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Autoroute des Carrés is the biggest slowdown right now. The stretch from the des Carrés interchange to Jean Talon Street is under major construction, with lane reductions that add 15 to 20 minutes to travel. Just east, the segment between Avenue Isabella and Chemin de la Côte Saint-Luc also faces major hindrance, so expect similar delays. A smaller bottleneck remains between SHAIR Brook Street and Queen Mary Avenue, but traffic there moves at a slower pace. On Autoroute Métropolitaine near Boulevard Lacordaire, crews are doing minor work. Flow is generally steady but allow a few extra minutes. All other major routes are clear, so commuters can use Rue Saint Laurent or Boulevard Saint Laurent for a smoother ride this afternoon. Transit runs on holiday timetables. STM buses and metros follow the reduced schedule, and EXO commuter trains are on a Sunday timetable with no service on the Mont-Saint-Hilaire, Candiac, and Mascouche lines. RTL buses in Longueuil also operate on the Sunday plan.
Montreal's national holiday erupts at Parc Maisonneuve today, with a parade, live bands, food trucks, and an evening grand show that turns the park into a celebration of Quebec culture. It's a chance to stroll, hear live music, and taste local food. If you prefer waterfront vibes, La Guinte du Sud-Ouest rolls out at the ancient Coeur de Triage Park along the Lachin Canal, offering over 50 music sets, DJs, and street food for up to 5,000 revelers. Bring a blanket, grab a bite, and let the canal breeze set summer mood. Comedy lovers can head to Estrella on Boulevard St. Laurent for Wednesday night laughs. Doors open at 7 p.m. and the show kicks off at 8, showcasing top comics and fresh talent. A relaxed hour of laughs after a long day, mixing household names with rising stars. Ahead, Festival International de Jazz arrives tomorrow in Quartier des Spectacles, promising nearly 1,000 concerts, many free, so soundtrack will keep humming well into next week. And now here's Jason with sports.
Here's the latest on Montreal's athletes and the games shaping our summer. Montreal's Gabriel Diallo moved into the Eastbourne Open quarterfinals after a 3-set win over Argentina's Tomás Echeverry. He dropped the first set 7-6 in a tiebreak, then claimed 6-3 and 6-2. Sportsnet reports the victory came on Wednesday. The city of Montreal will honor Canadians forward Brendan Gallagher with a Citizen of Honor ceremony at City Hall Thursday afternoon. Officials plan a brief program recognizing his contributions on and off the ice. CBC Sports NHL confirms the event is set for the coming day. Montreal Canadiens legend Carey Price was elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame on Monday, joining peers Pekka Rinne, Keith Tkachuk and Cindy Curley in the 2026 player class. CBC Sports NHL notes the induction ceremony will celebrate his career achievements later this year.
La Nadia, the women's sports bar tucked into Oshel has thrown its doors open again, this time with a bright new outdoor terrace. After a brief shutdown, the space returns as Montreal's only dedicated gathering place where women can cheer, debate and celebrate every game from hockey to soccer. The reopening brings a buzz of energy to the block, drawing regulars and curious newcomers alike to sip craft beer and share stories under the evening sky. For the neighborhood, it means a fresh hub where friendship and sport intersect, reviving the street's lively rhythm. La Nadia matters to Montreal because it proves that inclusive community spaces can thrive, one cheering crowd at a time. Up next, a warm welcome back to La Nadia, the women's sports bar in Oshel, reopening its doors to fans. Stay tuned.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches, no middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
On a crisp early evening in the heart of the plateau, the doors of Café Via Montreal swung open to welcome a small crowd of Anglophone families, seniors, and students. With the provincial parties declining the invitation to an English-language leaders' debate, a group of volunteers from the local community center decided to fill the silence. They set up a modest round table, coffee steaming, a chalkboard listing the top 3 issues that matter most to their neighbors: healthcare access, affordable housing, and school language services. As the conversation unfolded, a retired teacher shared a story about her first class of bilingual learners, while a young mother described the hopeful smile on her daughter's face when she heard about a new after-school program. The room buzzed with laughter, the clink of mugs, and the genuine feeling that dialogue can thrive even when the formal stage is empty. By the time the lights dimmed, participants exchanged contact numbers, promising to meet again next month. It reminded us that the true pulse of democracy lives in everyday conversations, right here on our streets.
On a crisp Saturday morning in the Plateau, the tiny lot behind the St. Denis Market transformed into a burst of color and laughter. Volunteers from the neighborhood association, a mix of retirees, students, and a local baker named Luke, gathered with paintbrushes, seed packets, and fresh croissants. As the sun rose over the cobblestones, they unveiled a community garden that will feed families and a mural that tells the story of the street's multicultural roots. One of the teenagers, Maya, painted a red-blue kite that seemed to lift off the wall, while her grandfather, Pierre, planted heirloom tomatoes he had tended in his own backyard for decades. The scent of fresh soil mingled with the aroma of espresso, and passers-by stopped, offered high fives, and promised to tend a plot of their own. It's a reminder that small acts of togetherness can reshape a corner of the city. What part of your own neighborhood could use a splash of hope? And as the garden opens its gates this week, the community will watch new seedlings grow alongside shared stories.
Thanks for joining us, Montreal. Tonight we celebrated the reunion of Harmonium, a true soundtrack to our national holiday. Keep the conversation going, and we'll be back tomorrow with more stories that matter to our city. Stay curious, stay proud, and see you at sunrise.